Okay, hey guys, so in the last video, I kind of talked about the history of sketches that I have had over the last couple of years, why I really didn't get into using a lot of those sketchbooks. And the recent sketchbook I just bought, which I have been using, and it's honestly the first sketchbook in a long time where I have started it and I'm about to finish it. I'm almost a little bit over halfway through. So today I thought it'd be fun to give you guys just a quick little sketchbook tour. Now, before I get into what's in this, keep in mind that essentially I bought the sketchbook to fulfill some portfolio purposes. So a lot of the sketches in here are sketches that were requirements for my portfolio. So a lot of anatomical drawings and a lot of real world life references. So that's essentially what I've been doing for at least the beginning half of the sketchbook. Later on, I kind of get to do my own thing a little bit more, but it was really nice because the portfolio requirements were my normal sketching habits to begin with. So that was a lot of fun. Now, I am primarily a sculptor. I don't really do a lot of drawing. All these drawings you see in the back, I've done for the purposes of this YouTube channel. And yeah, let's just get into it. So first thing, you open up the first page and you see a quote here, Hope Cloud's Observation. It's a Frank Herbert quote. I essentially wrote it down because in a previous sketchbook, I did a lot of things where I had one side of the book have a quote and then the other side have a drawing. I don't really do it in this book, but I think I'm gonna do that for the second half of this book because that's something I really enjoyed about my previous sketchbook that I kind of filled up. So Frank Herbert quote, I wrote it because I had just gotten done watching Dune 2 and I was doing a lot of research on Frank Herbert, so I thought it'd be fitting to have a quote in there as well. So first page coming up here, and yeah, this is the first drawing. It's just an anatomical drawing of a back stretching, kind of doing like a chest and shoulder stretch like this. And in the very first page, I kind of have a palette of everything I've used in this book. So I have various different kinds of pencils. I have markers, different shades of markers. I have charcoal pencils, a white marker, and then like a white colored pencil. Those come later on in the sketchbook, but for this first drawing, again, a lot of the drawings in this book are gonna be like this. I have medium tone paper here, and I was really able to get details into the shadows and in the highlights with the three-tone drawings that I've been doing. Something super easy. I think it's important if you haven't been drawing in a long time and you want to get back into it, you just draw something super familiar and something that you're super comfortable with, because at this certain point in the process, it's just about getting your confidence up and getting warmed up. So that's kind of why I went with this drawing. All right, second page. After this, we have two faces here. These are both faces that were drawn off of real life references. The references were at the Getty Villa out here in Malibu. The first one I think was like Augustus, and then I can't really remember the second one who he was, but again, same thing, three-toned drawing, highlights, shadows, and midtones. You could probably see that you want to use the highlights as a contrast to wherever the shadow side of your drawing is. So I have the dark side of the head, and then immediately the background turns into a highlight. It just kind of brings out the drawing a little bit more, and it's one of my favorite things when using mid-tone paper, a bit tanner paper. So yeah, big fan of these drawings. For the second one, the older guy, you could probably see the hair is not very sculptural, and I kind of did that on purpose. A lot of these references, I kind of start the drawing looking at the reference, kind of getting the basic shape, and then I want to practice kind of drawing from imagination, so I stop looking at the reference and I kind of turn it into its own thing. So the hair has a much more realistic texture than the normal marble sculpture hair would be, and that was on purpose. I kind of wanted to just practice texture work, and up here, up on the right side or the left side of his face, the hair gets pretty detailed, and I was pretty proud of that part. But not bad, not terrible. Again, just kind of good things to get warmed up on. The next drawing. Wow, okay. This was, again, another portfolio requirement for me. I had a full like a full body anatomical drawing. So that's exactly what this is. Again, the reference for this was another statue, so that's kind of what I used. Same thing for the old man. I kind of started it out. I'm just getting all the shadows, the highlights in there, and then for a lot of the details, I just didn't look at the reference and kind of did my own thing, and that's what I came up with. Pretty happy with it. I am not a big fan of like her front leg. The reference did look just like this, but for some reason in the drawing, I just couldn't make it work. And I think I could have done a better job with this. One of the things I noticed with the sketchbook is that if you're using materials like charcoal, like this drawing is using especially, it does tend to bleed over onto the other page that it's facing, which I think is inevitable unless I use like some, what are those things that you spray on charcoal paint drawings to kind of stop them from smearing. I would have to use some of those, but again, it's just a sketchbook. I don't want to go that deep into it. Next drawing, again, just hand. No reference for this one. I just kind of went wild with it. And I used the red charcoal pencil, kind of giving it a more vintage look. And then on the next page, you see a lot of the bleed through, but I drew a lug nut. I wanted a different texture, something just completely different, and this was like the practice lug nut, and I kind of got the dimensions wrong because I kind of freehanded it. So this is the practice for the next page in the sketchbook, which again, one of the pages is empty, and then this page right here. This is more of a typical sketchbook page where you have a bunch of like random drawings. I needed more figure drawings for my portfolio, so I put 3 of them in here. The ballerina, again, no reference for that, just off the cuff. And then these two, there were references. I think it was a model I saw on Instagram who did like poses for artists so that they could draw, and the lighting was like pretty great on him. So I kind of got those references from there. And then the lug nut, I kind of went deeper into it, and I drew another perspective on it as well. And I also, studying graphic design in undergrad, you get kind of used to doing leading lines and lining things up, and that's kind of where the dotted lines on this page came from. So again, pretty happy with this page. The ballerina was the last thing I put in here, and I think it kind of shows it was a bit of a rush job. And going back on it, I think I would have put something else in that section, but again, can't be mad. All right, this one. The one on the left is, again, another sculptural reference. This amazing sculptor that I follow on Instagram. One of her sculptures is just like this, and I kind of used it. This part of the sketchbook, I bought a mechanical pencil, so a lot more crosshatch shading is happening, and the white and the highlights are done with a charcoal pencil. So that's kind of what I used for this portrait, and then for this full body thing, I needed another full body drawing, so that's essentially what this one is. I think the guy is the same model from the last sketches, which is interesting. They didn't draw his face up. Didn't think I needed it. The focus was on the body. So, all right, next page. Very simple, just quick portrait drawing of the fallen angel, and then some wings to complement it. I started experimenting with like having smaller sections within the page, so I cropped out like this little long horizontal piece. Drew the fallen angel face. Pretty happy with how his face turned out. Very quick sketch. And then the wings, and then this actually became the inspiration for my latest sculpture, which I will be showing to you guys once I'm done with it. So stay tuned for that. And then on the next page, my friend gave me a graphic design task, and I really don't do much sketching when it comes to my graphic design work, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And very quickly, I got to my final idea. And from here, I just took it into Illustrator and refined it and gave him a ton more material. But I don't really want to touch this page a bit much unless I do more work for him and his company. So we'll see what goes on later on this page. But yeah, this is essentially all I needed to brainstorm. I get ideas pretty quickly. I finalize them really fast. Next page, this is kind of just a throwaway. I wanted to sketch, and I really didn't know what to sketch, so profile, portrait, anatomical drawing, again, something you're comfortable with when you're trying to come out of a rut. And on the next page, I have Anthony Bourdain, portrait. Not bad. I could have done this better, but again, I think I was just browsing ideas for drawings that I want to make into a larger scale with better tools. So, all right, next section, very small, kind of like thumbnail sketches of Tarantino movies. Tarantino is my mom's favorite director, and I think I had just watched Pulp Fiction and I wanted to do something with that. So I got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Pulp Fiction with Travolta dancing, Django, and then Reservoir Dogs. The scale of these kind of made it harder for me to be accurate with them because, again, they were freehand. So the Reservoir Dogs one looks a bit goofy. Django, I'm pretty happy with it. John Travolta's is the one I spent the most time on, and I think you could see that. It turned out the best. And the DiCaprio and Brad Pitt scene where he's just like, up. I was pretty happy with that one. And then I got a cowboy smoking. Again, very much still using the mechanical pencil, and a lot of my shading from the beginning half of the sketchbook where very smooth gradients and very strong highlights have kind of gone away for very quick crosshatch style shading. So yeah, not bad. All right, this one, this is actually a page from another sketchbook that I bought with black paper, and I really just used that sketchbook for this page. And I wanted to bring it in here because this is, again, my primary sketchbook. Very similar to the Tarantino sketches. I wanted 3 panels of Marco Pierre White black and white photos. Marco Pierre White is a chef, and when he was young, there was a photographer that went into his kitchen and captured black and white, like just candid photography. Super raw, super amazing. And I wanted to do some quick sketches of that. Again, this was another portfolio piece. They wanted to see one of my sketchbook pages, and this is the one I ended up submitting as well. At the top, you also see a little palette. I didn't use all of them. They were just testings. And then on the other page, you have 2 profile portraits of a man and a woman. Again, something super quick. And the sketchbook really is turned into really quick sketches going from really curated pieces, which, again, I'm not too mad at. All right, next page, I have Dali. Salvador Dali is probably one of my favorite artists, and it was only fitting to do a portrait of him. And I kind of just played around with his mustache and did his portrait twice. Again, just something really fun. And then full body sketch of a woman. I quite like this sketch. I'm probably gonna go back and add in the hands and the feet. But for now, for what it is, pretty big fan. Going back to the original pages of the sketchbook with a bit more highlights, a bit more shadows defined, and charcoal pencil, mechanical pencil, and then the white charcoal as well. So. And then this is the last page that I have done so far on the sketchbook. Quote on one side, and then the Mona Lisa, because it was just fitting. Essentially, I did the Mona Lisa for this video. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Used a lot of the techniques I've been using in the sketchbook so far with the mechanical pencil, the charcoal pencil, and the highlights. This is a mix of graphite and charcoal. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this version of the Mona Lisa I've been drawing. I think I want to make it a tradition of drawing a Mona Lisa in every single one of my sketches. And then on this side, time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. I forgot who said that, but I love the quote and I dated it. And I think moving forward, because I hate having stuff bleed into the other page when it's another drawing, I think I'm gonna do the thing where it's like a quote on one side and then the drawing on the other side. So, and yeah, I am just a little bit over halfway done with the sketchbook. Pretty happy with it. Again, this is gonna be the first sketchbook I essentially finish since I can remember. It's been a long, long time, probably since I was in middle school, since I finished a sketchbook front to back. So this is gonna be a special one. Again, the sketches, every artist, you go back and look at their old work, or when they look at their old work and they're gonna cringe. And there's certainly an element of that in this book, but I think it's natural for people to do that. It means you're growing, and if you don't, then you're honestly pretty stagnant and you need to look at stuff. So I'm not mad at it. I gotta get it out there. I gotta show people. So that's what I've been doing. I will finish the sketchbook. Maybe I'll give another tour when it's done. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys want to see more. Again, I'm working on a sculpture right now. It's gonna be pretty amazing. So when that's done, I'll be making a video on that. Stay tuned for more. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see. And as always, have a great day. Bye.